Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Jahan. I'm a video game vocalist, having worked on Watch Dogs Legion and Beyond Good and Evil 2. I'm also a concert producer, working for Helvepic, the concert production company that organized the 20th anniversary of the World of Warcraft concerts in collaboration with Blizzard Entertainment. So, you have been absolutely insane in my comments, guys. I've been so touched and so moved with every lovely word you've left on my videos. I'm seeing that you guys are really enjoying my reaction videos, so this really means a lot to me. I'm relatively new to this, so I'm kind of learning as I go. And as you may have guessed, today I am going to be reacting to another Clair Obscur Expeditions 33 track. So I'm really excited about this one. This is probably by far the most requested song in my comments. And the good news is this time we'll be having an official music video that goes with it. So I'll be able to comment on not only the audio, the sound production and the vocal performances and instrument performances, but I'll be able to also react to the cinematography of that music video. So with that being said, guys, grab your favorite drink. I've got some chamomile tea with me, a little bit of honey inside, and let's dive right into Lumière. So I want to dedicate a little bit of my time to speculate a bit what I'm going to get from this music video, the performances, etc. So already from the title itself, Lumière, light. I'm already expecting something, a little bit more jovial, something very hopeful in this track. But I also want to comment a little bit on something very important that I failed to mention in my previous video. My past reaction videos, so that means Une vie à t'aimer and Alicia, and this one as well, Lumière, they're all composed by the same person, including, Lorient Testard and Alice duport-percier. This is a very crucial element that I overlooked because I kind of assumed that she was just a featured vocalist, but she actually wrote some parts of those songs. So this is very important to note. So whatever praise I'm giving to Lorient, I'm also giving that praise to Alice as well. So great job. So what I really want to talk about very quickly is Clair Obscur. In my previous video, I mentioned that Clair Obscur is a painting style, part of the Renaissance times, where painters, they would depict people or objects, but in very harsh tones and harsh colors, with very strong contrasts between light and dark, and probably also playing around with some of the colors as well. Clair Obscur is really an art style that is actually really very often used in photography and filmography these days. I can show a few examples with what I've done in the past. With my music videos, I love playing around with harsh lighting, especially for my more dramatic music videos. So it's really cool to see that the game devs who developed Clair Obscur Expedition 33, that they put a little bit some of these references to the art style and Renaissance paintings and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to kind of dive into this music video. And I'm already telling you right now, I've already said it in my first reaction video that the cinematography, the filming is absolutely like the first image right here. We see I think it's a cello. Yeah, it's definitely a cello. And there are some plucking going on. So I'm excited. So let's dive right into this and see what it's all about.
Dim, dam, da, di, lam, vacarme, s'en va dans l'oubli éternel. Et Gustave, dom guardiam, di, 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 dam, lutessera, do, di, dam, seram.
Oh my gosh.
Dim, dim, da, 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 dim, dim, da, 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 dim, da, di, dam.
Okay, let's stop right here. I know I'm kind of like a little bit, I'm not butchering the song, I hope, but I already want to say this is such a very cheeky kind of way to start a song. You've got these staccato, plucking of the strings that is happening with the cellist, and I do think, they were both cellists in the background, and it's so nice. It's a little bit jovial, as I kind of expected. It's not too energetic, but it's very, very kind of like, it's like a little bit of a hop going there, just kind of like as you stroll around, basically. It's got this sort of like, strolling around Paris. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting. No, honestly, I don't know what it's like to be in Paris. I've been there a couple of times, but living there versus visiting is always a different story. Did you guys see how happy Alice looked there, and also like Lorient as well. Like he was really kind of like focusing on playing his guitar, but there was like a little bit of a smirking going on right there. But Alice, wow, when you compare her with what she was doing in Alicia and what she's doing right now, it's like an incredible contrast. Again, we have this whole contrast going on between something that was very dramatic in Alicia, kind of like somber and kind of haunting. And then here, it's like she looks so happy, and, also the fact that she's wearing like a brighter outfit, like white shirt, basically. And that kind of like, she exudes this sort of nice, positive light. And there we go. We have another reference to the track. So this is quite nice. Also, when it comes to the way some of these musicians are filmed, I wanted to bring this up in the first video that I did, but they have sometimes these really cool tracking shots. So meaning that the camera moves towards the direction of the musicians, and they do it so flawlessly, right? So I'm guessing they must have used some sort of like a stabilizer or something like that. In bigger film productions, when they do tracking shots, they usually have the big cameras, because they're so heavy. They have them on these wagons with wheels, and then they're set on these tracks. And then the camera person or some form of like camera operator or camera assistant actually pushes the wagon. They film the person and follow as they move towards them, and they minimize the camera movement, basically, like no shaking that is taking place. So that's why everything feels so nice and smooth when they use their tracking shot and move in closer to the musicians. So that's really, really cool.
Dans là-haut sera ravi, les toits à sur noir gris fera. Clair obscur, tout de nature contera l'effet. Clair obscur, dans des hauts peintures trouvera sans elle. Clair obscur, tout de nature contera.
Now, wow. Okay, so we have Monsieur Testard, who's actually singing in this song. That is really cool. I did not expect that. And do you guys see how different Alice is in this video? She's like not overplaying it too much, but she is really into this song, and she's looking left and right. She's looking towards Lorient and kind of like the smile in her face, and she's got like this vibe going on. Like this is really, really cool. And she again plays around a little bit, and there are some lyrics that are playing, but I can't seem to decipher once again the lyrics. So I'm just going to pull them up very, very quickly. Okay, so that's interesting. So the song that we have here is a mishmash, I believe, a mix of French, and I think it might be some sort of like a Latin or something like that, because there are some Latin words in it, but it seems a little bit invented, and I think it kind of makes sense in this world of the Clair Obscur Expedition 33 game, because you have some Latin words that are in the lyrics, like aeternam, which means like eternity, and then vacarme, which means like a lot of noise, people that are shouting, fighting, a lot going on, like enjoying themselves, I guess. It's just like, it's this sort of like vacarme. You see, there's certain words in French that are a little bit tougher to translate in English because they're so specific. And, you know, that's one of the many things I like about the French language. Dum dum dum, da da dum 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 da da dum. Dum dum. It's such a nice, and I love the fact that they have this sort of like little melody that it's actually a very catchy melody, because now I've got it in my head. I'm going like dum 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 da da dum 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 da da dum dum dum. It's really beautiful, actually. In the chorus, you have like Clair Obscur, Clair Obscur, trouble de rature, courbera, Eiffel. That means Clair Obscur, of course. Troubles of striking out or erasing will bend the Eiffel Tower, basically. There are so many terms that I do not understand. It's a mix between Latin-ish words and French. And I feel like it's so fitting, though. I feel like it really kind of like tells this identity of a city that is, you know, it's like in this post-apocalyptic world, and, you know, a Paris lookalike, Lumière, basically, has this sort of like very upbeat sort of feel to it, even though everything kind of like, I imagine, sucks. But it's kind of like they revel in the things that they might have still left. And yeah, this is really, really gorgeous. I'm going to comment also a little bit on the lighting, but that comes a little bit later. So let's wait until the end of the video for that.
Clair, obscur, trouble, rature, clair, obscur, guardé aux peintures.
There we go.
Trouble de rature, courbera, Eiffel, clair, obscur, guardé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle. Clair, obscur, trouble de rature, courbera, Eiffel.
Oh my
Clair,
gosh.
obscur, guardé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle.
Our favorite cellist is playing. Ooh. Oh, wow.
Oh, clair, obscur, trouble, rature, clair, obscur, guardé aux peintures. Clair, obscur, trouble, rature, courbera, Eiffel.
Oh, nice.
Clair, obscur, guardé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle. Clair, obscur, trouble de rature, courbera, Eiffel. Clair, obscur, guardé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Dum, dum. Oh wow. What the heck? Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's all kind of like break it down, right? Okay. First of all, when I think about Alicia, okay, think about a little bit the way they filmed the whole thing, right? In Alicia, we have darker tones. We do have like quite a lot of lighting, but it is like, it feels a little bit more overpowered by some shadows. Let's just say that. But then when you have this music video from Lumière. So first of all, we have these really incredible sequences where the lighting in this music video is also really beautiful. You have, for example, some overhead lights, some diffuser lights, I believe they're called, where they kind of like diffuse the light and bring in a little bit this more warmer color. That's why in this video you feel like it seems a lot more brighter, and in this case it makes a lot more sense given the title and the theme of the city, I would imagine. What I also love is, Alice is really getting into this song as well, and she's looking a little bit around her as she's performing, like she's looking to Lorient, but she's looking also a little bit to like whoever is around her, almost as if to kind of like share a little bit in that sort of jovial sense that she's, a little bit the joy that she's feeling, the way it's all being sung, right? The way she sings it, and a beautiful, beautiful vocal performance. There are some moments where she kind of like pauses, like dum, dum, like really these sort of like short intervals of allowing this kind of short break to happen between the notes. And this is interesting because in Alicia, she did the same thing. Actually, she and the musicians did the same thing, but the overall vibe felt more melodramatic and sad. Whereas here, it's kind of like like kind of like really sort of like taking a stroll down the street, and you're kind of like skipping or something like that. And it's so fascinating to draw these sort of comparisons between the two different tracks. Everything feels like so much bathed in light. Everybody is so well lit, and the colors are warmer. And it's so fascinating because when you see Alice kind of like singing, and she's just kind of like moving all around, and everybody's just kind of like playing along with her and sharing a little bit in that vibe. And again, these really incredible tracking shots are really so cool. I love them so much. These tracking shots, you have to use them in very specific moments, depending on, the vibe of the song, the mood, the atmosphere. Some of these tracking shots are really fast, and they add to this energy that the video is giving, which really contributes to the term of light. Everything feels light and fun and jovial, and, well, slightly fun and jovial given the context, I would imagine. Let me just quickly explain this really cool tracking shot, which is not easy to do. I don't know if they use some sort of like a gimbal or even actually like a tracking shot wagon for this. But basically what they did was they focused on one musician in the background, and as they go behind the musicians and move more towards the front, they pull away the focus from the musician in the background and then focus on the musician in the foreground. And that is such a difficult move to do, not without, that's why this is such a professional music video shoot. And I think a lot of kudos has to go to Daniel Sicard. I want to come back to this Daniel Sicard, okay? Because the fact is, he not only orchestrated and arranged some of these tracks that Lorient and Alice composed, the fact that he is the director of this music video goes to show that he has this knowledge in music and in film production. And when you meld the two together, you get a really, really incredible music video like this one here. Of course, he hasn't done everything himself, I would imagine, but he works with people, and he is basically responsible for the artistic vision of this music video. So in his mind, he must understand that, okay, so the violins and the cellos are going to play this. So how am I going to time that with the film shot, basically? Am I going to do, like, for example, like a close-up shot of them just playing the melodies on the instrument, or am I going to do like a wide shot? Wide shots, or also known as long shots, are basically these shots where you see people, like full-bodied people within a frame, and usually it's multiple people within that same frame shot. And what I find so fascinating is that someone like Daniel Sicard, who not only kind of like contributed as an orchestrator and an arranger in this music track, but also who became the director for this music video, it goes to show that we're dealing with someone who is a musician, who is a performer, who is an orchestrator, and who knows his way around cameras. And the fact that he was also responsible for editing, that means that he had an idea how people would be lit, what was the best way to bring out the brightness and the light in a music video that is about Lumière. This is such a treat, and I wish more people, more companies would do that. It's quite the endeavor, but I just love seeing this kind of production being done. And also the fact that he also, when he edited everything together, he captured really the moments where people were at their brightest, where they exuded a lot of light and energy and warmth, which this is what the song is all about, And let's not forget, my goodness, the choir. And from what I remember in some of the comments that I've received in my previous video, apparently some of the game devs from Sandfall Interactive actually contributed in their vocals to this as part of the choir. I mean, Lorient is in it, and I did see Alice as well. So I'll already tell you this. So the part with the choir, that's a complete different setting. Maybe it was done on the same location, but it was not done at the same time for sure. This was a separate shoot for sure. Oh, did you guys notice the roses? I just noticed that. This is okay. Wait, hold on. Now I have to look through this. Musicians, they don't have any roses on them. However, Alice has a red rose. And there we go. Okay, so there are 3 guys. Even though there are other guys, 3 of them have white roses on. And I would imagine that means that they must be the game devs, because Lorient is one of them who has a white rose. And the other 2, I think the other 2 are part of the game devs of Sandfall Interactive. This is I did not pick up on that right away. This is so cool. See, now that's where, like, movie directors will always leave some little hints left and right for this. And our favorite guy is there. I love the fact that they included some of the game devs in the choir. That is a really nice touch. And I think the way they kind of like added this choir is it gives this sort of everyday people sort of vibe to it that is joining the choir. And it's kind of like, it sort of emulates a little bit the busy streets of a city like Paris, where you have a lot of people. And there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of exchanging of words and conversations and discussions, and sometimes they're very lively. And this is sort of the vibe that I'm getting from this music video. And it's so cool. It's such a cool track. And now I have that song stuck in my head. Dum 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 da da dum 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 da da dum 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 dum. Yeah. It's one of those songs, guys. It's one of those songs. So let me just quickly check again in the credits. Daniel Sicard and his film crew. Lots of love to them, because the way everything is shot is there's a lot of thought that went into this. A lot of planning ahead as well. And sometimes, no matter how much you plan ahead, sometimes you'll have some something unexpected that happened. You can plan as much as you want ahead of time, but you'll never be able to anticipate how a film shoot actually goes. And I think that's where you have some little happy accidents, so to speak, where, you know, maybe you expected some musicians to perform in a certain way, but they're giving off a completely different vibe. And you're like, oh yeah, okay, let's include that in this shot. And here is the pianist. Okay, so they should have made that clear from the start, but the pianist who plays in this music video is obviously not the same as Lorient Testard in the first video. She plays really beautifully. Her name is, let me just quickly say her name correctly, Aurane Donadieu. Okay, Aurane Donadieu, you were really, really excellent in this music video as well. Like, everybody was. And also the fact that you have a Steinway's and Sons piano right there, that's actually that's pretty expensive. So anyway, like a nice Steinway piano, but this has been such a treat. Wow. I really enjoyed kind of like diving into this, trying to, you know, analyze a little bit, not only the lyrics, but the performances and the attitude, the vibe of the music video. And as well, kind of like giving more credit to where credit is due, you know, to the film crew, as well as the musicians and, you know, Alice duport-percier, Alice duport-percier. Sorry about that. Also, lots of love and a shout out to the Orchestre Curieux. I would imagine that's the little ensemble that is playing right here. They really have done a phenomenal job. Phenomenal. Okay, let me respond to some of your comments right here because you guys have been absolutely incredible and I did not expect to get such a response from all of you. So, as promised in my previous video, I'm going to take the time now to comment to some of your comments, basically. When you don't know what you're listening to is a French person speaking perfect English or an English person speaking perfect French. This comment really got me. This comment really made me laugh so hard. My mother tongue is English, but I live in the French part of Switzerland. Donc du coup, je suis francophone aussi. Donc merci beaucoup pour vos commentaires. J'apprécie énormément. Vous êtes chou, vous êtes adorable. Je vous adore. Big love for Lorient and Alice. They created the masterpiece. Absolutely. They have created such a masterpiece. Like, they have created several masterpieces. I'm still over the moon of regarding Une vie à t'aimer. That song just threw me. Oh my gosh, that song was full of emotions. This guy's served me a full glass of emotions and I've enjoyed every single drop of it. That's exactly what I mean. I was in the menu of the game for too long just listening. Okay. That's probably going to be me once I play the game, so we'll see how that goes. This whole song has me emotional, but the way it ends always gets me teary-eyed. It hits so hard for me. Absolutely gorgeous. I agree. Once I play the game, I'll probably be as, if not more emotional than you, especially since I feel like I'm missing a lot of context, so... I actually had no idea Alice was part of Hollow Nest Orchestra. I remember watching her perform a lot for Grizzini projects. So when I first seen she was the main vocalist for this game, I was super happy. Yes, that's right. So Alice duport-percier used to do a lot of work for the Grizzini project, which is this epic music group on YouTube. They did a lot of... I remember they did a lot of covers of Ghibli music until Ghibli got involved. And I feel like there was like a lot happened basically, but they have done some really, really cool stuff. So I do remember that. Dans une interview, Guillaume Broche a déclaré qu'il ne voulait pas que la musique soit le parent pauvre du jeu et ça se ressent. Dans le clip du titre Lumière, on peut voir des employés et le directeur de Soundfall Interactive chanter dans les chœurs. Okay, so let me quickly roughly translate for you guys. So Guillaume Broche said in an interview that he, roughly translated, felt that the music shouldn't be underplayed or undervalued. So, and that's something that we can feel. Seems like everybody feels that. And in the clip in the video clip Lumière, in the music video, we can actually see the employees and the director of Sandful Interactive singing in the choir. So I do believe that the people with the white roses are actually the employees of Sandfall Interactive. I feel like that's the only thing that makes sense for me. Thank you for not butchering the names of all these people. Well done. As far as the game and music are concerned, Game of the Year in my book, this is perfection, French style. The vibe of the game is Belle Époque, Paris style, combined with a fin de siècle sentiment. Whew. Sorry, I almost... Wait, hold on. Some other main styles are mixed in as well, but mentioning those would spoil the game somewhat. Okay, so thank you for not spoiling that. I finished the game in English and restarted in all French for the full French experience. Oh yes, to emphasize, the music is simply divine, all of it, and surprisingly diverse style-wise. Yes, so this is something that I was trying to point out, especially with the term Clair Obscur, and, it has this Belle Époque style to it, fin de siècle. These are all terms that I've learned in school, being from Switzerland. And I do feel that vibe in the music in of itself. So I can't really comment on the game itself. So I hope I will be able to at some point. It would be really funny to kind of play the game and then come back to my reaction and react to that, basically. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Oh my God, my favorite childhood game. I think you mean Beyond Good and Evil, my friend. Yes, actually, I grew up with Beyond Good and Evil. It's actually one of my favorite games growing up. And it had such an influence on me as a vocalist, as a singer. So it's kind of funny that one of my favorite games, I got to work as a vocalist on the prequel of that game. And it's been really an incredible experience. So... Je crois qu'Alice n'est pas seulement plongée dans le chant, elle semble aussi plongée dans l'histoire pendant qu'elle chante. Sans compter qu'elle s'appelle Alice et la chanson Alicia. That was the comment that I made in the first video where, Alicia and then Alice is like, coincidence? What the comment here is saying is that Alice is giving this sort of impression of not only just being fully immersed in her song, but also in the story itself while she's singing. So there is definitely when you're a performer, you're gonna have to be able to really be fully into your song and really kind of you have to be one with it. Otherwise, how are you going to connect with the hearts of the listeners and the audiences? That sounded like a very Kingdom Hearts things to say. No, but basically what's really important as a performer is that you should be able to connect with the song, and that will help you in telling the song to your audience, and your audience will feel more connected to it. If they can see that you're connected to it, then they too will connect. And that's why the performance from Alice is so incredible in all of the songs that I've heard so far. Daniel Sicard and Alice and Lorient and all performers absolutely slayed and really nailed the thematic movement and dynamics. I agree. Fully agree on that. If they decide to expand the theme, I would really love to hear some wind orchestration, but it's definitely stunningly beautiful in a short form it's currently in. I agree wholeheartedly. Some flute, maybe some clarinet or oboe could really be very beautiful. You should react to the song Lumière too. I've just done that, my friend. And start playing the game. Why haven't you started yet? What's going on? Like I said, I don't have a PS5 and I want to play it on the PS5. So once I've saved up enough money, I'll play it on the PS5. And I'll get the game and I'll play it there. I don't want to play it on my computer because this is the only computer that I have here. It's my only work computer, and I use it only for work, basically. So I don't think it would perform well enough if I started playing games on it as well. So besides many other accomplishments, the song tells basically the story of the game. It's almost spoilers, but it's sung in a fictional language, it seems, yet I sort of understand the meaning behind the lyrics after beating the game. It's mind-blowing. That's true. So I feel like, when you play the game and then you listen to the lyrics, even though it doesn't make sense, you'll understand what it means and what it's about. So, and that's something that is absolutely amazing to achieve as a songwriter. So I'm just going to respond to this. Beyond Good and Evil 2, is that still a thing? I do believe it is still a thing. I think it's gone through a lot of difficulties, but I believe that we'll hear some news about it at some point. I can't speak on their behalf, but I know the people and they're working really hard at it. And I'm hoping that one of these days, you guys and everybody will get to hear more news about it. So one day, guys. Well, I really enjoyed reading all of these comments. I'll read more of them as I make more reaction videos. I couldn't do in the previous one when I reacted to Une vie à t'aimer because the music itself was 11 minutes long and there was just no space to add a segment about me reacting to your comments. But it means a lot to me that you guys take the time to share your stories, to share your point of view. Some of you guys you guys have a really funny sense of humor. So I really enjoyed reading your comments. So thank you for that. We're arriving at the end of the video of me reacting to Lumière by Lorient Testard and Alice duport-percier from the video game Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So, what did you guys think of it? What did you find fascinating about this music video? And which song would you like me to react to next? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Share your thoughts, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.